Hi everyone, my name is Yuxin Huang and this is my 5 senses presentation. Five senses. Five senses include vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. All five senses collaborate to receive and process information about our surrounding environment into the brain, a concept known as perception. Perception is very important to human survival, as our senses help us to do things like detect threats, locate food, and communicate with other humans. The information needs to come through the sensory organs and specialized cells or tissues in these organs, receive raw stimuli, and translate them into signals that the nervous system can use. Today, I'm going to compare and contrast five senses using the chart that I created. First, all five senses have some sort of sensory organ. For vision, the sensory organ is the eye. For hearing, the sensory organ is ear. For smell, the sensory organ is nose. For taste, the sensory organ is tongue. For touch, the sensory organ is skin. And here are 5 pictures of the sensory organs for all 5 senses. Also, for all 5 senses, they all need some sort of stimulate to activate the receptors. For vision, the stimulate is a light, which is photons. For hearing, the stimulate is sound, especially air pressure waves. For smell, stimuli is chemicals in the air. For taste, the stimuli is chemicals in the food or drinks. For touch, the stimuli is physical traits of an object, for example, the texture, temperature, and the shape. All 5 senses have some sort of sense receptors to receive the outside world message and turn it into signals. For vision, the receptor is photoreceptor and retina. For hearing, the receptor is mechanoreceptor on hair cells in the cochlea. For smell, the receptors are odorant receptors in the olfactory epithelium. For taste, the receptors are taste receptors in the taste buds. For touch, the touch receptors are in the skin, mostly in the dermis and epidermis layer of the skin. For the structure and function related facts about 5 senses, here are 5 facts about each senses. For vision, the amplification of the G protein cassette allows sensitivity to a single photon in the retina. For hearing, the different stiffness in the cochlea makes it sensitive to different sound frequencies, which is like a topographic map. For smell, one fact is that the odorants with similar structures stimulate overlapping but different areas in olfactory pump, which is like a chemotopic map. For taste, taste buds are made of receptor cells that have hair-like protrusions that enable them to be stimulated by food molecules. For touch, one fact is that the skin contains different types of receptors and receives sensations like pressure and pain. Smaller reception field will have higher tactile acuity. For all 5 senses, though they all need some sort of stimuli to activate their sense receptors, the ways that the receptors are activated is different. For vision, the photons cause conformation change of the receptor, which activates the G protein coupled receptor, and then activates the G protein and triggers a protein cassette that amplifies the initial signal. For hearing, The sound waves cause movements and trigger more or less action potentials based on the direction of the movements. For smell, the odorant activates a specific combination of receptors which causes the olfactory sensory neurons to be activated, and then a region of olfactory bulb is activated. For taste, the taste receptors are G protein coupled receptors, and different tastes of food activate the heterodimers formed by two taste receptors. The taste receptors activate GRP channels. For touch, different types of touch inputs are received by different touch receptors in the skinlet and sent to the brain by A-alpha, A-beta, and A-delta and seed fibers. All five senses are sending signal to the brain, so it's all afferent signals. For signals pathway, five senses have different pathways to send signals to the brain. For vision, the signal passes from eye to visual cortex in the occipital lobe. For hearing, the signal was passed from ear to primary auditory cortex in the temporal lobe. For smell, the signal was passed from nose to the orbitofrontal cortex in the frontal lobes. For taste, the signal was passed from tongue to the gustatory cortex in the frontal lobe. For touch, the signal was passed from skin to the somatosensory cortex in the parietal lobe. That's all for the compare and contrast for all five senses. Thank you for watching my presentation, and bye.